Hello, fabulous friends and fans. Welcome to this special series of videos on natal planets conjunct the nodes and transiting planets conjunct the nodes. Originally, when I created these videos, they ended up being over an hour long, where I went through the sky and talked about each of the planets. Now, what I've done is I've edited these videos down so that you can get right to the information that you want. Look at the exact planet that you want. I want to thank you so much for watching, and thank you especially for the suggestions that you guys give me on the videos that you want to see in the YouTube comments, on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and of course my website, nadiyashah.com. Please do keep those questions, suggestions, interactions, and positive energy coming. It really does mean so much to me. And if you like these videos, please share them. And of course, let me know online. Enjoy. Hello, fabulous friends and fans. Welcome to this special series, continuation of the special series on the North Node. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. And so earlier this year, I recorded a series of videos on the nodes, ideas for those videos, as the idea for this video came from friends and fans, just like yourself, who have been asking me for my perspective on different aspects of the technical side of astrology and how I practice astrology and view different celestial occurrences and their symbolism. And so this video is on the North Node and planets conjunct the North Node in astrology. And I'll also be looking at planets conjunct the South Node as well in astrology to provide that contrast. So as I shared in earlier videos, the North Node in an astrological chart, the North Node represents basically that point in the sky, and it's a calculated chart point, if you will. It represents, to me, when I look at the North Node, to me, that is such a powerful point and such an important point in prediction, because it speaks to how it is and where it is that the universe pulls us towards greater love and greater wisdom. And it pulls us towards these attributes as part of pulling us all, pulling the collective in that direction. So it's your individual part of the collective moving us towards greater love and greater wisdom. It represents a point of karmic agreements, karmic contracts, and a point that suggests that that ultimately is where you are going to go to really uncover your potential. You're going to meet people as well who are going to help you uncover your potential, your purpose, what it is that you're meant to do in this life. And so because this is all happening on a level of spirit, life has a way of kind of throwing you in situations where you have to be involved in situations that are covered by the house of the North Node, or you have to bring forward characteristics that are covered by the sign of the North Node. Now, in contrast, the South Node is actually, it's sort of the most immediate past life that we are working away from, we're moving away from. It's sort of like the past life we said, okay, this is what I want to heal in this life. This is what I want to actually go to the opposite end. And so because of that, we have a tendency to manifest sort of every sign, every house in an astrology chart has a spectrum of expression. And we have a tendency to manifest sort of the lower end of the South Node. So we have a tendency to manifest the sign qualities that represent more of the lower end of that sign, or the more literal expression of that house. Whereas where the North Node is, we tend to manifest the higher expression of that sign. And we tend to manifest sort of the more esoteric understandings as well, more enlightened understandings of that house area as well. And so planets conjunct the nodes operate along this principle as well. So planets conjunct the South Node are very interesting because they represent, planets conjunct the South Node are, because this is about energy you're carrying into this lifetime, the planets that are there tend to manifest themselves in terms of sort of their lower qualities, their most immediate qualities, their more literal qualities. But mostly what I found is people with a lot of planets conjunct the North Node, or even if you look at the type of planet conjunct the North Node, especially in the early life, especially before that person has a Saturn return, which happens at about 28.5 years, before that person has, you tend to attract people because really the nodes operate as a gateway from which people either enter, which is the North Node, or they leave, which is the South Node. What I found is you tend to attract people who are in some way reminiscent of what that planet is as an archetype, the type of archetypal person that planet would represent. And also, you're asked to sort of bring forward qualities of that planet that maybe are not as enlightened as they might be, or not as esoteric, not as emotionally focused. They tend to be much more literally focused than they would otherwise be if they were conjunct, say, the North Node, or even placed elsewhere in the chart. But one thing is for sure, though, planets conjunct the nodes, either of the nodes, carry a very strong potency because they speak to an archetypal energy that is either being healed in this life or is going to help you to move into your future, is going to help you to actually fulfill those things that are happening on a level of soul. Planets conjunct the North Node. Now, the North Node is people entering. When you have planets conjunct the South Node, what I've also found with that is that person, especially in the early part of life, in the first 30 years of life, might have sort of very strong attractions or strong draws to the type of people that would be represented by that planet. When you have planets conjunct the North Node, it also can represent people as well. And so these are like archetypal qualities, say, and I'll break it down more by going through the planets individually. But this tends to be really certain types of people who help you along your path towards moving towards greater love and greater wisdom in this life, fulfilling those promises you make to yourself, fulfilling the purpose of the incarnation ultimately is what those particular planets and the type of people who would embody that energy would represent. Also, with the planets conjunct the North Node, what's interesting about that is really we are asked to manifest and bring forward and cultivate the higher qualities of those planets and in some way embody, tap into that energy as part of moving us towards greater love and greater wisdom, as part of fulfilling our potential, and all those things that the North Node promises. So, all things being equal, okay, all else being equal, I'm not in this point looking at signs. Planets can be in different signs. The nodes could be in different houses. All of that being equal, because I did actually do a series of video where I look at planets through the signs and the houses as well. So that being equal, we're just looking at the planets as archetypal energies, okay?